Oh, yeah. We're gonna talk about it. Let's talk about it. Talk about it. Talk about it. It's a place to be. Teaching art collaboratively. It's a show that lets you know where art goes creatively. Talk about it. It's a place to be. Teaching art collaboratively. It's a show that lets you know where art goes creatively. Yeah. Yeah. Let's talk about it. We're gonna talk about it.
Hi, my name's Sarah Kersh. I am the 7th and 8th grade art teacher at Jones Middle School, and this is...
I am Michelle Prospere. I'm the science skills specialist at Jones Middle School as well.
Yeah, and we're here to talk about how we collaborated to create this really awesome lesson for science and art. We're also pushing STEAM. If you've heard STEM, get that out of your brain. I've been talking about this for a few years. If you've been watching Taco Bell for a few years now, you know I've been pushing STEAM, not just STEM, STEAM, science, technology, engineering, art, and math. So that's something that we've been pushing on, and I'm so grateful because I'm at a new campus and I have this awesome person that I can talk to.
I'm so
she
excited.
came up to me and she said, Ms. Kersh, do you think it's possible? And I was like, yes, before she even finished the sentence. It's just really nice as an art teacher to collaborate with teachers who are really just doing everything possible and could use a little bit of help. And I feel like just awesome that I have someone I can work with. So I brought her in to show us some stuff that they're working on right now.
So the science department, we are super excited, and it is a dream for me to have that opportunity to collaborate with an art teacher to bring some of these models that are necessary for the learning of our students to life. So one of the things that we do in science, in chemistry, which is a heavily tested TEK on the star, one of the things that my teachers did was they had the kids create models to represent an atom. So when I presented my idea to her, I was really excited because it kind of saves us some time. Our kids get to see it twice in terms of like what the elements are on this periodic table project that we're going to be doing. And I'm just super excited because our plan is to take this and implement it throughout the semester. So I'm just excited for us at Jones Middle School.
Something else we did today, I had Miss Chambers, who's one of the science teachers, and she's like, Miss Kersh, look at this test question number 1. My students are struggling. And it was a model. And she's like, is there any way that you can have the kids create this model as like a warm-up or something? And I was like, oh yeah. So I drew the model of the atom on the board. I was getting a little refresher myself. It's been a while since I've taken a science class. I drew the model of the atom and I had the kids draw what I drew and then label protons, electrons, and neutrons. They also, some of them were like, Miss, we're doing this in science, so like I got this, no problem at all. And you wouldn't believe how excited they were about it.
And they are
so
super excited.
Yeah, just talk to each other, work with your people at your building because there's some really cool stuff you can do together. So what is this and how did they do it?
Okay, so pretty much we gave them a rubric and we gave them some guidelines, of course, and the student got to select element, and this was prior to the periodic table and all of that. They got to select an element, and the focus was 8.5A, which is the structure of an atom. And really all they're doing is identifying the parts of an atom, the protons, the neutrons, and electrons. So this student pretty much selected her element and created an atom to represent this element. So this is just a sample of some of the things we're doing, but now we have Ms. Kersh on board. We are super excited because now our students get to do the art stuff in class, and if we do it in science class, it's kind of like they're seeing it twice.
And I was talking to her this morning. She's like, Ms. Kersh, if there's anything you can do, like, I don't know a whole lot about art, but if you want to show me a technique, I can show my kids in science too. And I'm like, oh, I love you. Already I love you. It's what, the 6th, 7th week of school? And it's like, I'm just so excited. So here is the periodic table that she lent me. I have my own copy too. And she just said, any of the first 36 elements, could you help me help these kids because they're struggling a little bit? And very happy to do it, and I'm going to show you some examples of some creations that are actually happening right now. These are not finished because we just started on Monday of this week. The first thing I had them do, they reviewed the periodic table, and we were just looking at how to pronounce the words and what was the symbol, what was the atomic number, and just becoming more familiar. And a lot of the kids, and I teach 7th and 8th grade in the same room, so some of these 7th graders are like, but I was just telling them that they're getting a little head start, so it actually works for them. And I tried to pair them, a 7th grader with an 8th grader, so that they can kind of work together. After they became familiar with the first 36, I assigned each of them their own element. They took that element, they researched. I have iPads in my room, thank gosh. I have the iPads, and they researched their element. They jotted down some notes that would help them create a character, because in art we're talking about pop art, and we're talking about cartoon characters in the 1950s style of pop art, and so we are collaborating to make pop art and this information to create a character. Their choice was to create a simple cartoon character or a cartoon character superhero. And the superhero ones are kind of nice, and I'll show you an example in a minute, because they used the elements' properties to create their superhero power.
Yes.
So I'm going to show you some examples, and again, these are not finished yet, but this is actually day 2 for these kids. After reviewing and researching, they started sketching in their sketchbooks first, and then they moved on to creating their character. So if you can see this here, this is just a real quick sketch, not finished, of beryllium, and she's wearing a beryllium necklace, and she's got her symbol and number. She's not done. She's going to add some more details in the background. This is just a really cool start. This one, hers, what's the help me out.
I think it's chromium.
I think it is chromium, because she was talking about how it's magnetic. So she added magnetism to her art, and she just has this really cool pop art style in the background.
The number on it.
Yeah, there's her atomic number. So here's, this one, like, whoa. Okay, this girl's really talented. She drew her character, and hers is gold. Wow. So there is her symbol and her atomic number, and she says that she's going to make her character have just lots of gold jewelry and her gold crown. This one was really neat, because when I asked him about it, he was talking about how copper can be, I'm struggling.
It's a conductor.
It can be a conductor. That's what I was looking for. Yes. A conductor. And he's like, well, he's my cartoon, and he's actually getting power as the conductor to help my phone get power. So I was like, okay.
So he knows you property.
And he does. And he was really excited about it. So here's some different examples. It's just really the pop art. I really liked her background with the pop art, and that was a really beautiful example. This one is one of the superhero powers. She's got fire in her eyes. She didn't write it down. Hold on, maybe she's got it on here. No, she didn't. But she said that it was, it react and it would explode, so she's going to make her superhero have lots of fire and explosions. This one's super neat. It's helium. And he made his character look like the balloons.
Yes.
And then he has his balloons up here, and he's not done. He doesn't have his symbol. He doesn't have his atomic number. But
I'm so
just
excited.
so cool.
I'm so excited.
And we were talking about how when these are finished, we're going to display them somewhere safe, so that, again, the kids can see and be excited about science. Because, I mean, science is awesome. There's a lot of really cool things you can do with science, and your art teachers, I know they're happy to help you. Sometimes we feel like we're in our own little bubble, and we're just doing our art thing. It just takes a simple, hey, Miss Kersh, or hey, art teacher, or whoever, do you think you could possibly do this? And Yeah,
And
we
the-
will, absolutely.
And the kids get excited. You know, the kids are really excited about it because they talk about it. Because now they're like, oh, well, I know what this element is. I know what the properties are. Because
Right.
now what happened was she started the periodic table before we did. So now that she got us on a head start, the kids are coming in now and they know the properties. They might not know the properties of the entire periodic table in terms of metal, non-metal, metalloids, but they are aware of a lot of the vocabulary like conductivity, malleability. They talk about these types of things, and that's kind of where I would love for us to go, that the kids are seeing it two places and they're getting that spiral that we need to do, you know, to help them get better.
Yeah, it's been really nice, and I can't wait to see
Yes.
what we come up
I'm
with in the
excited.
future.
I'm super
So, thank you for joining us again. I'm
you.
Sarah Kersh, 7th and 8th grade art at Jones Middle School.
And I'm Michelle Prospere, Science Skills Specialist, Jones Middle School.
You can follow me at Jones Middle Artist.
And I'm just at MS Prospere Science.
Thank you.
Thank you.